Okay, so the trick with point slope form is that we need to identify the point that they're using. So I'm going to do that in red. Which point are we starting at? Well, you will recall that because if you look up here, it says x minus the x coordinate. What are we subtracting here? We're subtracting a 3. The number that we want is the opposite of what you see there. So what we really want is, since it says x minus 3 here, we want to have a positive 3 for x. And it says y minus 5 here. We want the opposite of that because it's subtracting the number. So what number is it actually subtracting? It's actually subtracting 5, right? 3 comma 5. Where is that point? 3 comma 5. You need to be good at plotting points, is right there. And then what's the slope? From there we say we rise 2, run 3 to find a second point on the line. Rise 2, run 3. That's right there. Now we can take our line tool. You will be using a ruler and extend that down and put an arrow on the ends. Good. Okay, we're doing good. What next? Okay, we need to first identify the point. And we do that by finding the opposite of this x coordinate, or the x coordinate is the opposite of this number, that's +1, so we do -1. And for the y, it says -7, so we have +7. So we have as a point -1, comma 7 right there. And then we move from there, we move whatever the slope says, and the slope says -5. Remember, it's -5 over 1. So when we rise -5 or drop 5, we can't forget to run 1. And now that we have 2 points, we can connect them. Just trying to straighten to get a little better accuracy. And then give it arrows on the end. Okay, notice that my graph has values every 5. You have to label your graphs. You're going to have to remember to do that. Okay, moving on. We say, what's the point? The point is -1, comma, +3. So we go over to -1, comma 3 right there, and we plot our point. From there, what's our slope? Well, our slope just says negative, right? What does that mean? Well, it's -1, meaning -1 over 1. So from there, we rise -1, run 1, and we put a point. Okay. Now that's enough to graph, but remember, as I said, when the points are really close together, you kind of want to pick some points further apart for better accuracy. So use our line tool, connect all those points. There you go. All right. Identify the point. It is -1, comma, uh-oh, there's nothing following y. Well, what that means is that it is y plus 0. So that is 0. Okay. And so we've got -1, comma 0, which is right there. And then what's the slope? The slope is 3/4. So we rise 3, run 4. That's that point there. Take our line tool. Your line tool is going to be your ruler, right? Yes, thank you. There you go. Okay. We have to identify our points, but when I look at this, I say, oh, it doesn't say x plus anything or x minus anything. So imagine that it's this, because it is. Y plus 8 equals -5 parentheses x plus 0. Got it? So that when you distribute in, you get that -5x there, and this becomes 0. Okay? So we have an x coordinate of 0 and a y coordinate of -8. Remember the opposite always. So 0, comma -8, where's that? 0, comma, -8 is right here. And what do we do for our slope? We rise -5, and we don't forget to run 1. But the problem here, if you can see it, is if I rise -5, I'm off the graph. Okay? How can I address this? Well, we can address this by taking this negative right here and saying, instead of that negative being on top, let's just have it be on the bottom. That's the same as 5 over -1. The numbers stay in the same place, the negative just goes. Notice that this was a negative fraction equal to -5, and so is this. What does that mean for us now? Well, now that means that we rise +5, run -1 in that direction. That's just essentially going backwards, and we're right there. Okay, and you can see that if we then started from this point and we rose what the original slope was, rise -5, run 1, we'd be back on another point. Okay, so you can just, instead of rising -5, running +1, you can rise +5, run -1. That's rise +5, run -1, like that. Now you have 2 points, and we're going to connect them. Adjust that for better accuracy. And put some arrows on the end. Done. Okay, one more time. What are our coordinates? Well, that is, the opposite is 4. The opposite is -1. So we go to 4, -1. Where's 4, -1? It is right there. And what does the slope say? Rise -3. Remember, it's rise -3, run 1. So we rise -3, run 1, and we're right there. Take our line tool. And you really do please care to make these go through the points correctly. So you notice that I'm adjusting my line tool here to make sure that it's going through the points. You're going to have to do it with a ruler, so you'll have to do it just by being accurate with your ruler. Okay, that's how you do those point slope form. You just identify the point, start from that point, and then rise and run whatever the slope says.